Senator Johnson told a constituent he knew that Joe Biden had won, but he said it would be political suicide because of all his supporters to say so publicly. What do you say publicly?
Yeah, I did not see Senator Johnson's comments in regards to that, so I really can't comment on his remarks. But I believe it's all part of the process at this point.
So at this juncture, you're not ready to say that Joe Biden is president-elect?
No, not until the process is completed.
As you know, and we're kind of discussing this, the Trump campaign lawsuits alleging fraud and election irregularities have fallen across the country. They continue wending their way through Wisconsin courts right now. Is it your position that the election was rigged, as the president says, or rife with fraud and ought to be challenged in this way in Wisconsin?
Well, I used the term anomalies earlier, and that clearly happened at a minimum across the country.
All of this discussion of fraud and irregularities, do you think it does damage to the confidence of the U.S. electoral system?
I think possibly it could, but I think it's also healthy for us to review our institutions. And if there's one thing that I believe about Donald Trump, ever since he came down that escalator and announced that he was going to run, was that 5 years ago, he has lifted the lid on institutions that we've always had great faith in this country, including like the FBI, the State Department. And we found that there's some rot in there that needs to be cleaned up. And I think that there are some instances where our election system can do better. And I think he's highlighting that. And I think that's healthy for our country.
As to elected officials doing work in Washington, there's a COVID relief package on the table, something shy of $1 trillion. What do you want to see in that specifically, and what do you think Wisconsin needs to take from that?
There's two things that I believe should be in there. One is liability protection. I mean, we had a bill in regards to tigers. We had a bill in regards to legalizing marijuana. Nothing to get relief for those businesses that have been hurt because of lockdowns through no fault of their own.